Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Good morning to all you folks in Brownsville on 1520 AM, 95.3 FM, Jackson News Talk 101.5, and every Saturday morning right here in Memphis from 9 to 10:30 on AM 790, 92.9 HD FM. And this is second Saturday, and he's here. He's here. He is a year older and deeper in debt from the last time we had him in the studio. And you know who that is. That is Ronald Kenneth Wong. Arcade to all of his friends. Good morning, Ronald.
Hey, good morning, Larry. Good morning, Shelby. Good morning, everybody. It is a nice day in the neighborhood today.
Wonderful day.
Look, it's going to be a little warm today, but that's all good.
But it's going to change, and it's going to change.
But it's not going to be changing that bad.
And the question today is, on this October the 12th, is what does Ron Wong do on his birthday as far as meals? Everybody asks. I mean, the man is the greatest cook I know. You know, he's got more contacts than anybody I know. So how did you spend your birthday, Ron?
I actually took it pretty easy. I didn't even go fishing.
All right.
I did some things to get ready for the upcoming Tennessee Outdoor Writers Association.
There you go. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I've got an event coming up in Green River Lake, Kentucky.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
that's Richard Hines country.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's the Brush Pile Fishing
that's
Academy.
Yeah. That's
so I'm going to go up there and help them with that. And I'll do one class for them talking about
that's a wonderful
social
event.
Media marketing.
Yeah.
And things to do, tips for all of that.
Well, I knew that you're going to be somewhere in, speaking of marketing and things along that line, y'all, this is, we didn't plan it this way, but you know when Wong's on with us, Ronald Kenneth Wong is on with us. We're going to talk some fishing, and we're going to talk some bass fishing. And we've really overloaded this show for all you BASS fans out there today. I mean, from start to finish. Pull up a chair, get your headphones on if you're walking or whatever you might be doing on this Saturday morning, because October is prime time, and this guest list is going to roll off our tongues. And I know Ron's all excited about it to hear from these guests. We're going to start right off with Will Flowers. He is the BASS marketing guru, social media guru. He's got a lot of friends in the Memphis area. And then we're going to go right into noted Mid-South angler Joey Monteleone, who's got another book out, Strictly Big Bass, Proven Trophy Tactics. And Bill Dance wrote the foreword on that one, too. And how about Tony Forte? I mean,
Go USA.
Go USA. Fifth in a row from the Pan American Black Bass Tournament in Canada.
Yeah.
And then rolling out next week in Italy with the USA team over there in Italy. So we're going to talk to Tony. Thanks, Ron, for setting that up. And then we're going to talk to one of the two new guys. Now, they're not new. That are coming to the
He's coming back.
And he
won.
Yeah, he won the Classic, I think, in 2014.
I believe that's right.
Yeah,
on Gunnersville Lake.
That's
and
right.
We're going to leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that, but that's Randy Howell. I mean, we're going to tell you that. And Randy's coming back to BS, all excited about it and everything. But he also has another special event coming up in November that we're going to talk to Randy about, and it's kind of like goes along with his boat. I'll just let you know what that.
I will tell you what, that's really one. It is for an excellent cause, the King's Home.
Yes.
And golly, what a way to maybe win a $100,000 boat.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll talk to Randy and then close it out with a familiar name to all you folks that still remember the Commercial Appeal, the man that followed me. Outdoor writer for the Commercial Appeal, and now he's gone on to bigger and better things.
I mean, really
big things. I'm so proud of Bryan Brasher, and Ron has set that up. So close the show out with Bryan Brasher, and we'll kind of let that go until we announce that at the end about something that Brian's going to be doing now, and
Yes.
following a legendary person himself. But a great show today. A lot of fishing information on this beautiful October weekend as the cold front, I understand, is blowing in on Sunday night into Monday when it's going to get a lot cooler and things like that. But we're still thinking about, and our prayers go out to all those people in the Appalachian Mountains from Hurricane Helene with what they've dealt with, and now Hurricane Milton.
That's right, through Central Florida.
Central Florida. So much going on, and here we are, great weather and things are going on.
Yeah, and I got to note that
What?
Shaw Grigsby is okay there.
I did
and,
too, yeah.
You know, he lives in Ocala.
Yeah, well,
which is where the storm went through.
Yeah, it went right through Sarasota and right on across to Ocala and Orlando. And I've got a niece that's down in Palm Coast, Florida, not too far from Cape Canaveral and Daytona Beach. But she said everything's fine. They didn't lose power, had a lot of strong wind, but they're kind of inland a little bit. But, wow, in 2 weeks to go through what they've gone through. But the recovery for our good friends in East Tennessee and North Carolina and South Carolina. I listened to Andy Montgomery posting on Facebook, Ron, about, he's in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And talking about the effects of that going through there. And then, it's just.
Yeah, they got a lot of rain.
They got a lot
of rain.
And then Tampa gets 18.5 inches of rain. So, I tell you what. But this is prime time, Ron, for fishing.
Yes,
October's one of your favorite months. And
absolutely.
And when I look at this guest list, I'm just so happy to have the birthday boy in to start this show off, because this is Ron's kind of show. Now, next week we'll slip back a little bit because John Gordon will be back in the studio, and so will Frank Barton. He'll be back for the Master Nationals. John Gordon is getting ready to hook up with DU and get things rolling there. So we'll talk a lot about hunting next week, but this week is primarily bass fishing, and this is going to really be a fun show. I'm excited about it. And what better way to start the show? I got to ask you now. We got a warm weekend,
right.
And then bingo come Monday, highs in the 60s for about 4 days in a row, lows in the 40s. Ron, tell us what that's going to do to fishing.
Well, first of all, the water temperatures, surface temperatures in the area lakes can range anywhere from the low 70s to the mid-70s now.
Really? Okay.
Which means that the fish will be moving, whether it's crappie or bass, and even bluegills, brim, will be moving shallow to eat, to fatten up for the wintertime. And I got to tell you, it's a great time of the year. With this cold front we've got coming in.
Yeah.
The main thing that you have to remember fishing in after a fall cold front day is to slow down.
Slow down.
Slow down. Fish cover, whether it's rocks, lay downs, brush piles. It doesn't make any difference. The fish, all game fish, will go to that as refuge because of the high pressure, and they will just stay there.
Oh,
and they're not very aggressive because of the high pressure system and the cold front day.
Okay.
However, you can get them to eat if you just go slow and take your time.
Okay.
And for the crappie especially, I recommend using an attractant on with whatever bait that you're using.
Okay.
And the couple of them come to mind that I recommend is Thump Gel out of
a good
Alabama.
And Monty Knight, our good friend.
That's right,
Knight.
great guy. And also crappie magnet slab bites.
Slab bite.
They work really, really good.
What does that do right now? That attractant.
One is
you're fishing slow. You said
is the scent that comes out.
Okay.
It could attract a fish to make them bite a little bit better.
All right.
Especially during a cold front day.
All right.
But more importantly, is once they get that bait, they will hold on to it longer.
All right.
Where you can get a hook set. But the crappie fishing down at the I-55 lakes, as I like to call them. One of the best ways to catch them right now is to spider rig.
Spider rig.
Spider rig with And most of these guys that I know, they'll use a 14 to 18 foot.
How many?
B&M pole.
Okay.
14 to 18 feet.
All right.
And the thing is
fishing no slow too. I mean,
you just got to go slow.
All right.
Use a double, a Captain Coleman double minnow rig.
Right. Yeah.
With small minnows.
Small minnows.
And the reason is all of your game fish are eating very small forage right now. Most of the shad are inch and a half long.
Okay.
And they will grow throughout the fall, and so you just kind of keep up with the size.
All right.
You want to fish anywhere. You want to have your baits down anywhere from 5 to 8 feet.
All right.
And that's it over deeper water. Both Sardis and Enid right now out in the middle of the lake is really, really good. The bass fishing also on these lakes, real good in the mornings, using a topwater bait or a buzz bait on secondary points.
Okay.
Sardis, a great place right now is Hurricane Creek and
Creek.
Tubby.
Oh, yeah.
And Blackwater Creek. Those areas are good. You got a lot of cover. You can still fish with them. Also, if they're starting to eat spinnerbait's good.
Spinnerbait.
And chartreuse and white spinnerbait will work real well.
Yep.
And also a rage tail, rage bug, and June bug colors are going to work good.
There you go. You heard it from Mr. Wong himself, the birthday boy here on Outdoors of Larry Ray. And we will say, let's announce this right now, Ron. When we head up to the TOWA, which is going to be at Blue Bank Resort up on Reelfoot Lake at the end of the month, it's a clean sweep for Outdoors of Larry Ray in the radio competition. How about that?
Yes, it is.
First, second, and third. I got first. Ron got second and third. You can't get any better than that, Ron. I mean,
sir.
Yeah.
And congratulations, Larry, on first place.
You too, buddy, because we share a lot of those things together.
Yeah, we do.
Couldn't do without Mr. Ron. All right, let's take a break. Come right back. Get this thing rolling. We're going to head to the BASS and talk to one of the main men here. We'll be right back on Outdoors of Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 25th year on the air right here in Memphis, Tennessee, every Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30 on AM 790, 92.9 HD FM. And this is second Saturday, which it means Ron Wong is in the studio. He's working the phone over there. I don't know what he's doing that on Saturday morning.
There's no telling what I'm
doing. But, you know,
he's
probably got on all new wardrobe from his birthday. But, Ron, this next guest, first of all, a good morning again to you, Ron.
Good morning, Larry, good morning, everybody.
Yeah, this next guest, we'll start our BASS show.
And before we introduce him, Larry.
Yeah.
Do you know what BASS stands for?
Bass Anglers Association of America or something.
Bass Anglers Sportsman Society.
There it is. Okay, Sportsman Society.
Yep.
Okay, all right. I got it. I was there when it was invented. You know, okay.
Me too.
So, yeah, that's right. Well, this next young man wasn't there when it was invented, but he is part of the BASS team. He is Director of Sales and Development and Marketing, which is such a title you can't put it on a shirt. But we're just happy to have Will Flowers on with us this Saturday morning. Good morning, Will.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you. This will be the first of many times we got your number now, Will.
That's right, and we're going to be depending on you.
Yeah, we'll call and thank.
Absolutely. Anytime I can tell the best story, I'm all for it.
Well, thank you. And thanks for Chad Gay for setting this up. And we had no idea that Will has Memphis connections. He was telling us that his parents were, I think he said his mom was white, his dad was White Station graduate. His mom's an IC graduate. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, Memphis is that special place to me.
Yeah, and your grandfather is a dentist, and I think your Is this a cousin that was a dentist too, or what is this?
Yeah, my uncle. I don't know where the old dentistry connection came from.
But you're in.
We had a fish, so that's the good news.
That's the main thing. Well, we appreciate it, and if any of your family listens, that will double our audience. I tell people, so appreciate you doing that with a big family. But good to talk to you, Will. And I know when I was talking to Chad about. And I really want to focus on a couple of things here because BSS has recently announced not only Phillip Johnson is the new COO, but also the expansion of the live coverage on Fox and FS1. Talk about that, Will, because I know you're big in development and marketing, you're in social media and things along that. This is pretty amazing, the coverage that you guys have.
Yeah, no, it's honestly a huge difference maker, and you mentioned the announcement with Phillip Johnson. He's been a huge part of continuing the relationship with Fox. Fox has been an unbelievable partner for us. We started with them several years ago, and when you look at the television landscape, they continue to be one of those partners that or one of those networks that continues to see growth, and we're excited to be a part of that. And there's a couple of pieces to the new announcement that I think are unbelievably huge for our sport.
Tell us.
One is the Bassmaster Classic in 2025 in Fort Worth. Will be broadcast live on what we like to say Big Fox for 6 hours. Historically, over the past couple of years, we've had 3 hours of coverage, but we're going to have broadcast coverage.
Live broadcast coverage for 6 hours.
Live for 6 hours on Fox. So when you think about this is why this is such a big deal. 97 of the 100 most watched telecasts last year were on broadcast TV. Wow. And so here our sport is going to be broadcast back-to-back days to really showcase the pinnacle of our sport, the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Classic. So it's unbelievable, and we're going to continue to have the Elite Series live on FS1 with 54 hours there.
54 hours of the Elite Series.
Well, and I'll tell you, now that you guys have also expanded to include some of the Opens now, is really, really amazing. I woke up the other day, and I was flipping through channels, and of course, FS1 is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it, and guess what?
Yeah.
That tournament on Lake Martin going on right now is on.
Yeah. That's what's unbelievable about the St. Croix Opens that are happening right now. We're about to crown our EQ today.
That's right.
Which will be the next Elite Series anglers. And what's been really unique about the past couple of days is the fact that all 3 days of coverage have been live on Fox in some type of capacity. This is the first time that the Opens have had all 3 of Opens coverage has been live.
Wow.
And it's really cool to see the action unfold at Lake Martin, especially on Fox and Bassmaster.com.
And people are getting to watch these guys fish their strengths there at Lake Martin.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of the guys pitching around docks or skipping baits under docks, and it's amazing coverage, but you guys covered it all and covered it well.
Yeah, I it's a hats off to our team in Little Rock, JM Associates. They do such a fantastic job from a live standpoint. They're the best in the business. And recently, Mike McInnes, who runs JM, was inducted in the Bass Hall of Fame, and well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved, because that McGinnis family, we know Jerry forever, because I grew up in Little Rock area and knew all of that over there. Then you think about last year, you had a record-breaking viewership in 2024 with one event still going on now. I mean, we're still in 2024, of course, but I look back, the previous high mark for Bassmaster Live was 14 million in 2021. So what are we thinking is going to happen in this year, 2024? We're going to break that, right?
We're shooting for it. We've passed 2023, which is exciting.
Wow, that's amazing.
And,
that's cool.
Obviously, yeah, we've got the opens that'll wrap up today.
Yeah,
and then a unique thing that we have that we've been doing this past several years is the Redfish Cup. So,
yeah.
It's a big sponsor there, presented by Skeeter Boats, and so that's the good news is we've got more fishing coming.
Yes.
And it's just been really neat to see the season for not only the Elite Series but the Opens and college. We had the college bracket that was a couple of weeks ago. It's unbelievable that we're getting so much exposure. It's a great opportunity for these anglers to showcase their brands. And show people how all the different ways to fish. It's pretty unbelievable.
And one of the things here is you're opening the door for future anglers. Men and women. I'm
absolutely.
I mean, your audience is.
It's growing the fishing industry.
Yeah, it's growing the fishing industry. Isn't that right? I mean, when you think about it, Will. I mean, it's an outreach program.
Yeah. Our youth programs are our fastest growing. We see record sign-ups when it comes to registration to compete in those. I mean, you're seeing college scholarships that are being awarded. We launched a new initiative a couple of years ago, which was the high school combine. So think about football combines that have been going on for years. Well, this is an opportunity for anglers to showcase their skills through some different skills competitions. They get the opportunity to meet with colleges that are on site.
Yes,
it's an unbelievable thing. And then you mentioned specifically the female demographic. I mean, that's an area that we're seeing nationally grow, and we make sure and add some fuel to that fire. So we announced a new initiative called Bassmast Her, which is really ultimately to equip ladies with the knowledge to get out there and fish. And so we've got a great group of ambassadors, and we've been doing workshops across the country, and we're excited about 2025.
And one of them is Christine Fisher, who we've had on the show several times here.
That's right, and
we're going to have to get her back on to talk about that.
No, please do. She's an unbelievable ambassador.
Well, when you think about this, and me and Ron being quote unquote old timers, I don't want to say that, but Ron, why were we born too early? I mean, I'm thinking I used to watch a test pattern after midnight, and I think what.
Well, to see bass fishing like you do on Fox Sports 1 today is really amazing. And you talk about expanding. I look at what's happening now on the kayak side.
Yes,
you've now included them in the Bassmaster Classic, where they have their day to show who wins that particular event also.
Yeah, the kayak is, again, an area that's growing, and it's unbelievable to watch how these guys and gals can fish, out of a small boat and catch the size of fish that they do. And we see our registrations for the kayak series continue to grow. I mean, those are hammers. These are really solid anglers, and I think at the end of the day, it's encouraging to see everyone wanting to get outside and wet a line and really enjoy the sport we all love.
Yeah, well, I know when it comes to Fort Worth next year, Ron, you better get ready. Going to big Fort Worth down there for the Classic. Isn't that right? Is that where it's going to be, in Fort Worth? Is that right?
Yeah, 2025 is.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
we're heading back to Lake
Texas.
Ray Roberts.
Yes,
we're in Fort Worth in 2021 for the Classic. We had because of the pandemic, we moved the Classic to June.
That's right.
It'll be back in March. We're excited about being back in Fort Worth. They're an incredible host. It's an awesome fishing community, and everything's bigger than Texas, and we're gonna make the Classic one of the biggest that we've ever seen, and encourage everybody to come down and experience that. We continue to add new things for our fans. at the Outdoor Expo, and it's going to continue to be bigger and better this year. And we actually started planning right after the 24 Classic. So we're fired back in Fort Worth.
Well, I was at the 2021 Classic, and I'll be there at the 2024 Classic. We appreciate all this information.
Yeah,
and we're going to call you back and have you on.
We got your number, Will, and we'll stay in touch. But great information, folks, and just go to BASS. I mean, you can go to the website, the Facebook. So I know Will's big on social media and all those because Instagram, X, or whatever, all these things.
YouTube.
Yeah, and then me and Ron will sit here.
If you go to bassmaster.com, which is
that's it.
For all that information, you can go to bassmaster.com/social to give us a follow and catch all the information there, and even catch some live fishing today. So
we'll do it
after we're on FS1. So guys, it's been a pleasure. Please, you've got my number. Please,
we got you. You're on the list now, Will. Tell everybody hello for us and
bring it on.
Bring it on, buddy. All right, we'll
thank you.
Thank Will Flowers. Okay, buddy. Have a great weekend. All right.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're just getting started here. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. A good morning to all you folks right here on AM 790, 92.9 HD every Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30, and then, of course, in Brownsville on 1520 AM, 95.3 FM from 6 to 7:30. And News Talk 101.5 in Jackson from 6:30 to 8. And kind of keep our theme going with fishing when Ron Wong's in and we're celebrating his birthday with a fishing show. I almost decided I'd just do a hunting show all during this for Ron's sake.
That would have been okay.
Yeah, because he wants all the hunters would get off the water.
I love it.
Yeah, but we got a special guest coming up. He's our Tennessee owner. If you don't believe it, he'll be Tennesseeing you if you don't look for him. But he is a longtime friend, Joey Monteleone, and he's got another book out. The man's prolific. I don't know. You don't want to mess with him. I always thought he should have been that guy on Andy Griffin that fought that bully with Barney Fife, because I'd like to see Joey come out of that room and beat that guy up. But Joey, good Saturday morning to you, buddy. And is this book number what? Is this 5, 6? What is this? This book?
This is number 4, and I didn't get my first book published until I was 69 years old. So,
are you serious?
Yeah. Really?
Serious.
Well, what about the 60? That book, the 60, was a great book. That was
60 seasons. Yeah,
yes.
We're talking about what I had learned over the course of 60 seasons. This one kind of, and thank you, by the way, for having me today.
Yeah.
To you and Ron, great to hear from you and great to talk to you. This one kind of centers in, Larry, I've kind of told people, if you want to catch cookie cutter bass, 2 or 3 of them, don't buy this book. If you're looking for the fish of a lifetime, this is a blueprint for catching a big bass.
And that's what it's called, Strictly Big Bass, Proven Trophy Tactics. And it's got a foreword by some guy named Dance is in there someplace, along with the Michael Vines. But I know Dance, he doesn't do that just unless he wants to do it. And I know you and Bill have a connection like he and I. He still calls me Little Henry from Little Henry Reynolds. I won't tell you what he calls Wong, but we'll let that go with that. But this book, how did it compare with the other ones, Joey? Did it come easy? I always ask people like that because this is not easy to do, particularly when you've got these thoughts going through your mind and things like that. So talk about the composure of the book. And once you got through with it, how do you feel about it? Because it's available on Amazon, folks. You better get this thing for Christmas or even before that. Get it for you.
Joey is also an excellent bass fisherman.
Yes.
Fisherman as a whole, because he likes to catch crappie and
he's all over
also.
All over TV. He's all over TV. You see Joey.
The stuff that he's got in here. Great tips, advice, and what to do and how to do it.
Yeah, talk about it, Joey, how you put it together.
Well, and being 73 years old, I tell people all the time I don't.
You're a youngster.
You're a
anymore.
youngster with us. That's
I'm
why
sorry.
That's
You're
why
a
we wanted
youngster.
a whippersnapper on with us, Joey.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
But I guess for me, I thought, leaving a legacy, and we all do one way or the other.
Yeah,
it
we
could be
do.
good or it could be bad, but leaving a legacy for people. I didn't want, when I'm gone, I didn't want this stuff to just kind of go with me. So, I want to position people, and I know you guys are in the same boat as I am. We love seeing people catch fish, and the two fish that people always remember is the first fish they caught and the biggest fish they caught.
That's true, yeah.
And so, I went back in and kind of dug into the details, and I know it's different for everybody, and I'm just suggesting this. I'm not telling people this is what you got to do. I'm saying this is what I do. So, because we're all in a category of senior citizens, I've got baits that I've had for 40 years that I'm throwing now and catching fish on. Some older baits that people that aren't even available anymore, like the old giant willow leaf spinnerbait. I've been throwing that for the last couple of months.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, how many people still use a Indiana blade? And you're using it a lot now.
I'm using the Indiana blade. I'm using a number 7 Indiana blade. That's blade.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're not seeing that. And I live on a lake that gets a fair amount of pressure. So, and the other thing I've done is, I've kept a journal for years and years and years, and 3 to 8 feet of water seems to be the magic. And I know people say, well, sometimes you're in 25 feet of water. What do you do when they're in 25 feet of water? I said, I stay home and watch cartoons. I don't know how to catch fish at 25 feet of water.
Yeah.
So,
You're a teacher, though, Joey. I know you love to teach folks, either through your videos or through TV with all your appearances on the wild side or whatever it might be. You're gonna people if you buy something from Joey, if you read one of his books, it's from him. He ain't got no ghostwriter. I mean, this is no ghostwriter. This is Joey putting it down, and I've always wondered when you do this, do those thoughts come to you while you're fishing, or do you come back and you sit at that lovely house you got on the lake, and these come to you? How do these ideas pop up? Because like you said, for somebody that's written 4 books and you haven't been over a span less than 10 years,
and then taking the time to write.
Yeah, talk about that.
Well, and it's it's all for me. It's like being out on the water, and I know again, you guys are. I used to start off my seminars by saying 50% of you are as good as me, and the other 50% are better than me. I'm just out there. I get to fish a lot, but when you're on the water, it either reinforces something you already knew, or you learn something. You still learn something new.
Yes,
so So I'm thinking about this, and then when you look at the pictures are, to me, always tell a story. So
that's
we take a fair amount of pictures, and I want to interject here real quickly. Right down the road from you, St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
10% of all the profits that I make from any of the books that I write automatically go to St. Jude's.
Thank you.
That's great, Joey. Yeah.
In the month of October, the American Cancer Society is getting an additional 10% of what we make. And, it's just my way of giving back. But, the key to catching big fish, and again, I'm kind of speaking to the choir, I look at things like moon phases, water temperature.
Yeah.
I rely a little bit on my own experience. And the other thing, and I don't want to give people the wrong idea. I'm not opposed to electronics, but I'm fishing out of a kayak. I got zero electronics.
Yeah.
So I think the problem with electronics for a lot of folks is it separates them from their senses. That you and Ron and several of us can just look at a body of water and saying, there's a steep bank. I caught a really nice smallmouth yesterday on a buzzbait. Steep bank. I mean, steep bank, downed wood, weed lines, isolated structure, secondary cover. I talk about secondary cover for big fish because, I tell people, when a fish leaves primary cover, if the water's dropping like we're getting ready to have winter pool,
that's right.
They go to what the secondary cover now becomes the primary cover.
That's right.
Secondary cover is a great place to go. Another thing that I'm doing is I base a lot of my lure choices on light penetration. So the 3 things that can change light penetration are the dark of night, the wind, and dirty water. So when I have that, I'm going to go to oversized blades on my buzz baits and my spinner baits, and those are almost year-round baits for me. And I catch a lot of big fish on buzz baits, but I like the big blade, and I'm not fishing for numbers. I catch numbers, but I'm not fishing for numbers. I'm really looking for big fish the whole time. So changing those blades and altering your baits is really, really, to me, a very, very good idea.
And I guess you're still fishing out of a Jackson? Are you?
A red, white, and blue.
Yes,
Jackson.
yes. If you've seen any of videos or whatever it might be with the TWRA, the Wild Side, or whatever it might, with Joey, he has this catchy phrase that I told somebody I got Joey Monteleone on the show, and he said, "Well, ask him where he ever got that. See, I'll be Tennessee you." So I got to ask you, Joey. That's a great. It's a great thing. It's like me, Joey. I have a thing when I say have a great day, I capitalize REA in the middle of great. That's just me, because I want them to know how to spell my name correctly.
Yeah, I saw that, and you're hitting on exactly why I coined the phrase "I'll be Tennesseeing you." Yeah. Nobody's going to remember Monteleone, and I couldn't even spell it until I was about 20. So when I would release a fish on video, the one thing my first fish, that's what I'd say. I'll be Tennesseeing you. So it's kind of catch and release, and I hope to see you again, kind of a thing. And then it caught on, and we've actually copyrighted the name. I had people that wanted to buy it from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, the Tennessee Tourism was really interested in it. I said, no, I think I'm going to keep it. So that was my first book. The title of my first book was "I'll Be Tennesseeing You," a history, his story, and some fish tales and tips. So that's where that came from.
Well, again, we're talking to Joey Monteleone about his new book called "Strictly Big Bass: Proven Trophy Tactics." And I got to ask you, Joey, you've had such a career. I guess in all them years at Kroger's, did you think you'd end up doing this? I got to ask you that. I mean,
never. No, I mean,
this is a down-to-earth guy right here, folks. And he's from St. Louis, which is, I'm a Cardinal fan. Everybody knows that. But to know what he came to Tennessee and has become part of the Tennessee scene now, and to know that you spent all those years in the corporate world, so to speak, and doing what you're doing now in this short period of time, buddy. I mean, I don't know when you retired, but you must have been ready to get going because you didn't get the remote and sit in the recliner. I mean,
no, I've been running hard the whole time, and I often tell people no place I'd rather be than right here in Tennessee. This is a wonderful, wonderful place to live. We are so blessed with what the TWRA does, and the home of Bill Dance, who's been a friend for over 40 years.
Yeah.
And, it really is. I've lived a charmed life, and I trained and taught karate for 20 years.
Yes.
I have been in a position where I can pass it on, which is a wonderful, wonderful gift to have and to be blessed with, is having a platform to work off of, just like with working with you guys today.
Yeah.
That this is a great outreach for people that just kind of want to learn as you go, and we can decrease their learning curve by listening to Larry Ray and Ron Wong and a few other people, and watching a few videos.
Yeah, and Joe, it's because of our passion that we have. We're blessed to be able to try to grow the fishing industry.
Well, that's what we're here for, and we're here to educate and entertain. So tell our people how they can get a copy of your latest book and all the other books, Joey. Where do they go?
They can go to Amazon, and they're all available on Amazon. And one of the chapters in here, you guys will really like this. If you're looking for a big fish, one of the chapters in there says, "Conventional fishing catches conventional fish."
I saw that title. I said, "Oh, that fits me real good." I don't know about that, but
thank you, Joey.
Think outside the tackle box. Do something a little bit different.
All right, buddy. All right. We appreciate you, Joey. Thank you, man. We'll talk to you down the road, and
we'll see you down the road.
Have a great weekend, okay, Joey? All right.
I'll be Tennesseeing you.
There you go. That's what I was waiting for. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. That's the way to cut off this segment. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, and I'm going to let my co-host and award winner over there, Ron Wong, introduce this next guest. And this has been a fun show. When I get me and Ron together, look out. I mean,
we have a lot of fun, and we get a lot of fun, great guests.
We do. Second and fourth Saturday that we call this fourth Saturday is BW Bonus Wong. But
this is the first Saturday.
Yeah, this is second Saturday. I didn't been on last week. But this next guest is, I'll tell you what, I don't know. He's keeping up with Canada and Italy and every point in between. So why don't you introduce this next guest,
Yeah, he's
Ron?
a jet setter for sure.
A jet setter. There you go.
But our next guest is the president of USAangling.org is the best way to say it, because I want you to kind of follow what these folks do, because they are the ones that gets the USA involved in all of these championships for gold medals. And also, they're a very big proponent to try to get bass fishing into the Olympics. And it's our good friend that we've had on several times, Tony Forte. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, fellas. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you, Tony, because I know these are busy times for you. Not that you're not busy all the time, but we just got extra busy from the St. John River in New Brunswick, Canada, where the USA made it 5 times in a row, if I'm not mistaken, Tony, to win the Pan American Black Bass Championship. Is that right? 5 in a row?
Well, it's actually not, but let's pretend that it is.
Oh, well, let's pretend it is.
We've gotten a couple in a row. Canada caught us.
I forgot. Well, forget that.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out then. Okay, but but you guys did sweep it up in Canada at New Brunswick, and what a victory! So talk a little bit about that, and then something else is getting ready to crank up this weekend, and over in Italy, where we're taking bass fishing to another level over there. So talk about and Ron, give him some questions, because I know the big victory. A 19-year-old kid showed out up there in New Brunswick. So talk about it, Tony. How did it go up there?
Yeah, so it really was fantastic. Canada did an incredible job of putting it together. I mean, just imagine this: the first day for dinner, they had I want to say $5,000 of lobster served. So
wow,
that's my kind of tournament. That's,
yes.
So their sponsors helped them out, but yeah, no, we going in, we've got a lot of confidence in our team, but when you're going to somebody else's home waters,
that's right.
You want to bring your A game, and had a lot of conversations with our captain Scott Martin about who should be on the team and how we should go about it. And I tell you what, all the ducks lined up, and we put it to him pretty good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Scott did a great job putting the team together, because as I look up the makeup of this team, and you're going to some strange waters, which is essentially smallmouth fishing.
That's right.
Which means it's clear, deep, and that kind of stuff. And the use of electronics is really going to help. And, he put together some guys that are really top of the game using electronics. And, it showed in the standings, because you guys took individual gold and silver, and then you took gold overall. But talk a little bit about the anglers that you put together on your team.
Yeah, so the gold medal winning team was some young guns, and that's Tyler Williams and Trey McKinney.
That's right.
As you mentioned, they in smallmouth waters where electronics matter, where I think they matter everywhere.
Right.
But in this particular case, you've got to find the fish fast, and you got to pick out the big ones, and so they did a fantastic job. And Joyce Fuentes, he's
a smallmouth fisherman from Arkansas.
That's right.
Yeah, right. And he's come up big in these type of events.
He does.
Funny. Some anglers, they kind of thrive on it. It's a different format. It's not fishing by yourself. It's it's a pair. And I think he's got the temperament, and he's able to work well. He won the Pan Am event last year with Larry Nixon.
That's right. Yeah, old and new last year. I mean,
there you go.
And then we come up with Trey at 19, the Bassmaster Elite 2024 Rookie of the Year, Trey McKinney, and what a young man! What a future he's got. to go up
Yeah,
there
for sure.
and keep his cool and things along that line. And Tony, you know these anglers. And I like the way one of the quotes you talked about, like a chess match, because you got to put the pieces together to make this team work, and because it's all teamwork in this thing.
Now, how many people do you take up there?
Yeah, I mean,
and only 8 qualify per day.
Yeah.
On in the competition.
Yeah, right. So we ended up with 6 teams. So,
right.
We had I'll just list them real quick: Tyler Williams, Trey McKinney, and then Scott Martin and Ryan Lattenville, Jacob Wheeler, Brett Carnwright, Rhonda Pitts, Emily Freeman, Joey Fuentes with Josh Weaver, and then Alec Morrison and Nick Hatfield. Mm-hmm. So, it was nice to have to see Rhonda and Emily. They got a limit each day, and I think they just were walking on clouds the whole time, being a part of this thing, and we were really excited to have them.
And they qualified by winning the ICAST Preview Cup tournament there.
That's correct.
That's right. Yeah, and
so that's a little
perk there, and then we only have so much time. And we got to switch gears. We got to cross the big pond now, and we go from Canada to Italy, folks, and get to the Black Bass World Championship, which I've looked it up. The 14th, we get kind of rolling, but the first competition, if I'm right, is on the 17th. But you've got a team already over there. Talk about this event, because this is it's a smaller team. And I see you got Martin, Wheeler, Swinties, you got Scott Canterbury, Dustin Cannell, Boom Boom's on there, of course.
Oh, what
Fred,
a team!
Fred's on there.
He's like Joey Fuentes.
Yeah,
he just does well in these kind of competitions.
Yeah, so talk about this team now. Let's switch gears and head over to Italy, because you're fishing in this 2 hours from Rome, in a volcanic lake, and Ron was trying to tell me what kind of fishing conditions they may have and the boats you have to use. So talk about what's going on in Italy now.
Yeah, so Italy, the world event, it's really truly become a global thing. I mean, if you look at some of the competitors, you've got North America, you've got Australia. Typically Asia, Africa, and Europe, they're all represented. So we're excited to go there. We've won the gold medal 3 years running.
Okay.
And this one, let's just say that the Italians take this serious.
Oh, serious. Okay.
Serious. So it's sort of their dream, to beat us. And so the guys they're excited. Wheeler and Cannell are going to be pre-fishing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're going in with a underdog mentality. I think that's the only way that you can go in.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you only have 2 days of practice, right? The 2 days of practice.
Yeah, that is correct.
And then you're just thrown into this volcano lake, created lake. I was looking about it. A volcano of 104 BC exploded, and then you get to this, and when I looked at this is, as Ron mentioned, this is hopefully a stepping stone to the Olympics, right, Tony? I mean, that's what we're pulling for here, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's a part of that process, and we talk about that, and people, they'll say, well, it's a pipe dream, and it's actually not. It's a process that we're going through, and we've made good progress, but yeah, I think one of the things that is important to the IOC when they're assessing sports is it truly a competition, or is luck involved?
Yeah.
And so if we show up and continue to dominate in these events,
has nothing to do with luck.
If you're a fisherman, you can throw luck right out the window.
That's
especially,
exactly right. Yeah.
In a 3-day competition. So. I'm a little nervous. I gotta, I always get a little nervous around these times. And I look forward to sharing this with our bass fishing fans. If you keep an eye on Facebook, USA Bass Facebook, we'll be posting what we can from the event.
Great.
And
because there is a time difference here. I mean, we're dealing with a pretty big time difference.
Tony, before we run out of time, talk about how can people view the competition, or will it be on a YouTube channel or a social media page somewhere, or
how are we doing this?
Yeah, so it's again at this point it's on Facebook, and we'll be posting anything we can. They haven't listed a live link yet.
Okay.
But as it comes available, hopefully it comes available, we'll be putting that there. And then post event, we're going to have some really great YouTube videos. Scott Martin does a great job with those.
Yeah.
Wheeler Cannell, they do some of the same things. So there'll be a lot of ways to get involved. And I mean, this lake is, it's whatever, a million years old, and the only thing in it is some drop offs and some grass beds.
Well, I hope there's some fish in it. I mean, the main thing, I hope some fish in it. And again, we're talking to Tony Forte, president.
There's no lay down trees there.
U.S. Angling, Dr. Ord. And we will say, Tony, before we let you go, I did see you guys are holding the ice fishing world championship in Michigan in February. Can I send Wong up there? Can you make room for the ice fishing? I'd like.
I think so. What do you think, Ron? Do you know? You ever walk around a snowmobile booth?
No, I'm willing to try.
He's willing to try. I would like to see if we can get a free trip for Ron Wong to Ice Fishing World Championship. Tony, thank you, buddy.
We can make that happen.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Always great talking to you.
We'll see you down the road.
We'll talk to you down the road. Let's get a World Championship. Let's get that gold. Okay,
right
buddy?
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you,
yes,
Tony.
Sir.
Thank you. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on Outdoors of Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And, man, this has been a fun show, Ron Wong.
It really has. I mean,
are we not the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio?
The fastest 90 minutes.
I mean, we've breezed through this thing in the first
we have
hour.
Talked about nothing but about bass fishing.
Oh, really?
Whether it's a world championship where we won a gold medal.
Somebody's in Italy, somebody's in Canada.
And to talk about BASS on.
Let's go to Guntersville. Okay, let's talk to local people here.
Let's go to Guntersville.
Somebody I can understand.
And somebody that has also been in our area at Wild Game Dinners. He was here with Mark Rose.
Yeah,
talking one night.
He doesn't mind sharing his faith, and
he doesn't.
That's our good friend Randy Howell. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Oh, it's good to talk to you, buddy. When I got the news,
it's been a while.
Randy is going back to the BASS Elite, and in 2025, when I got that press release from Chad Gay and all the good folks at BASS, and I was so happy for Randy. To get back and do what he loves to do and spread the good news of bass fishing and through his faith and everything else. And I know this decision. I talked to Randy the other day before we went on the air to talk to him a little bit about this, but talk about the decision, Randy, and when it opened up, the legend spot opened up for you. You really wanted to get into this, didn't you?
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate y'all support and how much y'all are excited about me coming back, and I've seen that from everybody here in the last few weeks since the announcement came out. So
it's
really heartwarming, to get back in it. I've missed the Bassmaster stage and the Bassmaster Classic, especially the past 5 or 6 years that I've been at Major League Fishing. I loved fishing the format at Major League Fishing and Bass Pro Tour and that whole deal. But I've enjoyed it. I've learned a lot. It's probably made me a better angler for sure. But I tell you what, I've missed the warm and fuzzy feeling you get at that Bassmaster Classic and all the fans and the support of just the old school American bass fishing public, man. That's the people that I've grown up with and I've done it my whole life with, and that's the people that I've been missing a lot. I'm so excited to get to come back and just get back in there with all these new young rookies that are doing so well, and get back in there and try to make that classic hopefully next year. That's the goal now.
And you tried to tell me that Laker is that old now. When I saw that, I said,
and
Randy just had a birthday back in September. I was looking at him. I thought Randy was going to be 35 or 36.
No.
Because that's what it feels like. And then I see on there that Laker is also fishing professionally. And I look at this and say, wouldn't it be cool to get Laker and Randy in the Classic together?
Man, I tell you, that's the ultimate goal right there, Larry. I tell you, it is. That's what we're shooting for. He's 23 years old.
Oh my gosh,
51,
and
he's doing really well in the Bass Opens. He's not
he
going to
is.
be able to make the elites this year, but he'll be close. But he's going to be a little bit short. He's stumped his toe in a couple events, but next year hopefully he'll come back stronger and make it on there. But that is the goal for us to both be in the Elite Series together.
Yes,
is one awesome goal, but for us to both get in that Bassmaster Classic together one day and hopefully start and make it a habit after we do it and all the time, it would be like being in the Hibdons, back in the Hibdons.
Yeah, that's right.
And, a lot of our age group and our generations of people, and we know who the Hibdons are, but unfortunately a lot of the kids that are in their 20s now really don't even remember who the Hibdons were. Never knew them.
do.
So we need a new father and son team in there. And I tell you what, we're signed up for it. I hope we can be the one.
Well, I know you guys are doing very, very well competitively. I certainly follow Laker and what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it won't be long. You guys keep up the good work. And what's interesting is your whole family is into fishing, and your sweet wife, she's right there to help promote bass fishing and you and all of that. And what I'm most impressed about you and the family is what you do for your community and to help other people.
I told Randy we got to talk about this. We're happy that you're back in the bass, Randy, but that Randy Howell Hope Festival and boat giveaway, that's pretty remarkable.
And
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Every year I'll make my one donation.
Yeah.
To hopefully win Randy's boat, but nevertheless, it's more important that it goes to a great cause.
November 16th. We got till November 16th.
Home.
Yeah. So talk about that,
right.
and then we'll come back to memories maybe. But I really wanted to get into this too, Randy, because I know how important this is part of your life, buddy. And talk about this thing. How much money's it raised? I mean, you told me that.
We raised a little over $3.1 million in the last 13 years. With
thank you,
13
Lord.
Is that not something?
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
So we've been averaging about last year was 333,000. We were like 383,000 the year prior. So we're shooting. My goal for a while has been to sell 5,000 tickets. We could sell 5,000 tickets. That'd be $500,000.
Wow.
It costs about $160,000 a year for King's Home to operate one group home, which usually consists of 5 or 6 girls in a girls' ranch home, or 5 or 6 boys in the boys' ranch. So to put it in perspective, that's what that amount. So if we raise $300,000, we can operate 2 complete group homes with house parents and do it all for a whole year. So it really puts it in perspective when you think about it like that. And that's why we're so passionate and we work so hard to promote it, to really, help it, see it make a difference, because we don't have but one shot every year.
That's
and,
right.
And everybody waits to the last minute to buy the tickets. So we kind of wait to really hammer down on the promotions everywhere and ask everybody to help us a lot that last week to 2 weeks, because that's when everybody does their $100 donations. But it's kingshome.com. It's live all the time, ready to go right online. It's a safe, secure, easy way to donate right online, and then all the tickets are printed and audited today out of the computer to the day of the drawing on November 16th by 12 o'clock noon that day. And then we have the big Hope Festival where all the kids come out and fish on the lake there, and high school fishing things, and we'll draw that ticket live stream on the deck of the boat there that day.
Wow.
You can watch it live right on my Randy Howell Fishing Facebook page. So it's a really great deal, and we're thankful to do it.
You know, you said 13 years, so this is before you won the Classic in 2014. That is Ron and I were kind of throwing memories of that Classic win, where you were and how you won it and things like that. But that was a life changer, I know, for you and Robin and the family and everything. But this was even before that, folks. This is before he won the Classic. He started this event, and so we're talking about pre-Classic wins. He still had this place on his heart to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think,
and I feel like that's why the Lord really blessed us with that Classic win, and the Classic win's what helped put this whole King's Home and whole boat giveaway on the map. You know, because ESPN did a whole feature story on it after I won the Classic, and then that kind of helped people see and connect, put their eyes and their ears and on what we're promoting, and tell them, you know, where they could see and trust and know what we're doing is legit. You know, and it really helped it take off after that. So it just all timing worked out great.
Well, I know it is part of it's a major part of your life, and when things are going on, and this opportunity now to come back to BASS and expand your platform some more through what you do here for King's Home, the youth and things along that line. But you got to get ready for fishing too, Randy. I mean, you know, it's you got to get prepared. What's it going to feel like that first tournament? I mean, think about that now. Are you already thinking about it? Because I know we got deer hunting and everything else going on. I'm 81, but that don't mean I'm not going to climb in a deer stand. Okay, Randy? Okay, do those things like that. But talk about
I'm
how
not
you
going to do all that. I'm fishing all
the
way.
Fishing, there you go.
I'm doing fishing. So I'm going to be ready. I tell you that, because I know it's going to be a big deal. I'm going to have a lot of eyes and a lot of expectations on me on this first year back, and I want to come out there and really, you know, knock it out of the park and do good and make that Classic, you know, and even win Angler of the Year. That's something I never did while I was there in the past. I made the top 5 in the Angler of the Year points about 5 or 6 times over the years, but never won Angler of the Year. So I'm on gun for the top and do my best to finish as high as I can, and then if I do that, I'll definitely be in the Classics. So that's the goal, and it's going to be more competitive than ever. But I'm used to that, because that Bass Pro Tour that I've just finished fishing for 6 years has got the most stout competition and that intense format with no limit. It really pushes you to be the best you can be. So hopefully it's like being in training camp. I'll be ready.
Training camp.
And Randy, you know, before we run out of time, if somebody wants a chance at your boat,
tell them,
as a donation, how do they go about doing that?
Right.
Yeah, go right on the website. It's kingshome.com, 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 and if you just type it right in, it'll come up there. And if you / Randy Howell on it, it'll take you right to the boat page. But either way, it takes you on the website, and you see a picture of me in the boat, and click on it, and it's very, very simple right there on that website.
You know, and it's a very, very rigged out Triton boat too. Talk a little bit about what they're getting.
Just 30
seconds.
It's loaded out 21 XP new Triton with 250 Mercury. I got 4 big Lowrance electronics on here, power pole trolling motor, and I got power pole chargers, got all the bells and whistles. I mean, you can get it's about $100,000 package. It's only got 135 hours on the motor, extended warranty, and ready to go. So man, I'm telling you, you can't get a better prize package than what this Triton is.
If you want to know about it, talk to Austin Herring from Wetumpka, Alabama. He won last year, and I bet Austin had a real lot of fun riding around that boat. I bet so.
He did.
All right,
did.
Randy,
That's
we got
the Alabama winner we had.
Oh, now here we come. I thought he threw that Alabama in there somewhere.
He was the first one we've had.
Are you serious?
The last 3 were out of state. Yeah, because we do a lot of out of state tickets. Right. So we
let's get a Tennessee winner, folks. Let's get a Tennessee winner
out of Memphis.
Out of Memphis or Brownsville or Jackson or wherever. Randy, we appreciate you, buddy. God bless you.
We'll see you down the road.
Yeah, Ron will see you, and we'll be talking to you. We'll stay in touch. We got your number, buddy, okay?
Yes, sir. God bless. Thank you guys for having me. We'll see you soon.
All right, have a great weekend. Let's take a break on Outdoors and Larry. Let's wrap this baby up. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back as we wrap up what we call the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming.
It has been fast.
It's been
today.
fast. Ron Wong is still here. I thought he might have left, but no, he stuck around to the end.
No, because we got a special guest at the end.
Do we? You think people will remember him?
I would hope so.
He's been gone a while.
But he has contributed a lot of information.
Is he where he needs to be though? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
I agree.
I think he would agree that too, because I can remember driving this next young man around town trying to show him his, and I was hoping all the time. I said, "Don't stay here too long now, Bryan Brasher. Go back to home, buddy. Go to God's country." He'd already got out of Columbus, Georgia, and he came to Memphis and ends up where he needs to be. And I just said his name, Bryan Brasher. Bryan Brasher is joining us from BASS and with a recent announcement from BASS. And first of all, Bryan, congratulations. Me and Ron Wong are proud of you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what you've done with BASS, what you've done with your family, and most of all, your football knowledge. And that's as far as we're going, okay, after that.
That's the only football we'll talk.
That's the only football we'll talk. But anyway, good Saturday morning, Bryan.
Good Saturday morning, man. Good to hear from you guys, both of you.
Well, we got two. Ron just had a birthday yesterday. He's already told everybody he was 77 yesterday. Well, the only way he's going to catch me, I'm middle-aged for a 162-year-old man, so he's going to have trouble catching me. But we're active geezers here, and to see what's going on with you. So talk about the career, the move to BASS, and what you've come from, because I know you were with you were the official editor of the BASS Times, I think, for a while.
Time magazine.
Yeah, and the executive editor of BASS Publications. And now there's something changing for you. Talk about it.
Yeah, I found out recently that I'm going to be the fourth editor in history of BASS Magazine.
Fourth.
And that is behind Bob Cobb,
yes,
Dave Precht,
yes,
and James Hall, who all did such an amazing job. I mean, when you have a publication that's been around as long as this one,
yeah,
and you've only had 3 editors, they did a good job, or they wouldn't have lasted that long. So, I mean, it just tells you the shoes that you have to fill. And I'm nervous about it for sure. But to have a new challenge, yeah, especially one like this at age 51, I don't mind saying it.
That's right. Randy Howell's 51. He just told us that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just reinvigorated. And I'm sure Randy feels the same way. You know, he's sort of beginning a new chapter.
Yep.
Yeah. It's very similar to his old chapter, but he's doing something new, going in a different direction. And I know exactly how it feels because it's really exciting.
Well, I know when you said fourth, I think I've told you that. I was only the 4th outdoor editor to the Commercial Appeal in 100 years.
That's right.
And I was the last outdoor editor because they took away the title and they took away my card and they took away everything else. All you have to do was cover high school games and whatever you had to do on Friday.
Yeah, while they referred to me as the outdoors writer, outdoors editor, whatever. But they would say that, and I would be talking to them on the phone from a high school game.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I paid my dues on that a long time before that. But again, we're talking to Bryan Brasher, our good friend Bryan Brasher, now the new editor of Bassmaster Publications. I guess we can say that. And you talked about the change of position. Now, you'll still be writing? I'm assuming. Talk about what your duties are now. What will these duties be? Because we know we've had James. Of course, Bob Cobb was a legendary when I went in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, we've
Bob was up there that time when I went in the Legend of the Outdoor Hall of Fame.
We've talked to Dave.
Yeah, and Dave, and then James, and now you. So talk about the duties you have now.
Well, I will be. I don't know. I guess you say top of the food chain for both magazines, for Bass and for Bass Times, and that involves, accepting queries, we call them, from writers. They just send in story ideas, or I assign stories and decide what goes in the magazines. And, then, of course, it gets down to the stuff that you and I love, the news stuff, writing headlines, deciding what photos we're going to run and which sources we're going to use. And there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with it. And Bassmaster, as you guys know, is, Bass Times is very technique heavy, very how-to.
Right.
Bassmaster has a lot of that as well, but they also have a lot of lifestyle stuff. You get to know the anglers, who they are, what they do when they're not fishing, things like that. So two very different publications that complement one another very well, and that's what I want to continue. I've said my mission is not to drive the Ferrari off the road. I don't have to come in and build anything. It's already there. So just don't mess it up.
Bassmaster Magazine really does a great job in highlighting all of their anglers, all of the BASS anglers, especially at the elite level, but they do a great job promoting the fishing industry and BASS also. And, and so that's good to see. What's your vision going down the road? It's a difficult time in the fishing industry. When you talk about whether you're talking about competitively, recreationally, everybody is divided. Right.
Yeah, they are.
It's ironic. I spent my career as an outdoors writer urging fishermen to speak up. Be outspoken. And be passionate about your opinion. And I don't know that we didn't all create a monster by
I
urging.
think we did. Right. Yeah.
Everyone is so outspoken now, and that's fine. I just want to steer the industry back toward civility and respect.
That's
because
you
don't have to like the way I fish. Just know that you're not going to change it by getting on social media.
Social media. You said the magic word, Brian. I know I'm old school, and everything, and I love magazines, and I love what used to be the newspaper, and I don't even go into that. But social media itself opens up so much.
Well, that's been the big divider.
It's been the big divider. You can say anything you want.
And for you to look at it like that, Brian,
that's great.
That is great, and it's challenging because you're right on target. We need to come back together.
Who knows if we get there? But if we can just steer back in that direction, it used to be you pull up for a tournament. Ron, you've done this 1,000 times. I know you pull up for a Tuesday evening tournament, and it's like a party. You see everybody that you've been looking for.
That's right.
And it's everybody's mad at one another. And I would just like to get away from that, get back to what made us all love the sport to begin with. And you ask about my vision. That's my mission.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what it needs to be.
That's awesome.
Because we need, and you can see this, Brian. I know I can look back and the difference in anglers from my time to this time, how polished a lot of these guys. They're college graduates now. They got personalities. I mean, I have them on the show all the time, and I can think back. I've got some great friends that didn't like to talk. But you've got kids now that you guys can publicize and represent the sport without getting into everything else. I mean, they've all got stories to tell.
And they're tech savvy. I love that they do a great job promoting themselves on YouTube, and that's all great.
But
we got to learn not to use it for evil.
That's right. Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
And
you're exactly right. There are things that as individuals, we should respect, number one, but number two is to respect others and their opinions.
Yeah. Well, and I think working under James Hall had to be good for you, Brian. I mean, everybody has to work under somebody that they learn from, and I did. Well, I had a lot of folks, so I guess that tenure with James, or even Dave before that, you learn individual working you up. You don't start in the majors, and that's And that's today now. These kids sign bonus contracts, and they're in the majors in 2 years. I mean, whatever it might be. So,
and some of them are ready for it, and some of them aren't.
Yes, yeah.
No, I was fortunate enough to learn from so many people. I mean, before I got here, I'm learning from you two. I'm learning from Bill Dance. You know, when I got here, Dave Pratt was still running the show, who was amazing.
Yeah.
So I've had the benefit of siphoning knowledge from some of the best to ever do it. And I just, you know, I hope to pass that on. Hopefully this business survives and is still around long enough for me to pass some of that knowledge on to another generation.
Well, it certainly did not surprise me that you were named to this position.
No, we had a lot of applause. We had a round of applause here.
I got to tell you, I said, who better to do it? I know you're going to do a great job.
Yeah, your heart's where you need to be, Bryan, and I know you'll utilize it well, and it'll be a great ambassador, buddy. We appreciate you taking short notice. Appreciate you doing this,
and we're gonna have you on down the road also. You can be assured.
Yeah, we'll spend the whole show talking football sometime after the season.
You can call me anytime. We'll talk about anything you want to.
All right, buddy. All right. Appreciate you, Bryan. All right. Have a great weekend. All right, man. All right.
Thank you, man.
Thank
you guys.
All right. Bryan Brasher. All right, let me tell you about next week's show real quickly, and we'll get on out of here. Frank Barton and John Gordon will be back in studio. Frank is back from the Master Nationals in Paducah, Kentucky, and he's going to give us an insight on that. Of course, John Gordon of DU will be here, and we got a couple of surprise guests. We got some things going on, and we'll see Mr. Wong back in a couple of weeks. And we're already working on guests for that show right before we head off to Real Foot Lake.
Yeah, we've got one guest that's already that we hope I think we'll be able to have on. He's at least committed. Well, I'm not going to let the cat out.
No, don't let the cat out because we got something going on then. Ron Wong, happy birthday again,
Thank
buddy.
you very much, Larry.
Appreciate your friendship. Have a great weekend. Shelby McCall, we didn't even mention you all show. Didn't mention Shelby a time, did we?
I don't know. We should, though.
She'll probably cut it out.
She does the best.
All right, Shelby. Have a great weekend. This is Larry Ray reminding you, as I do each and every week, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else, Ron Wong?
God bless the USA.